Welcome to Cooking with Bryan Dixon. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Bryan Dixon. On today's episode, we're going to be making a dish that I created called SLC Croquettes. What are SLC Croquettes? Well, what they are salmon croquettes, but with a few extra ingredients such as crab meat and lobster meat. I love seafood. It is something that is very, very high on my list of things I like to eat. So, hope you enjoy this recipe today. First things first, let's get some prep going. So the first ingredient we're going to start with today is going to be our lobster tails. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our shears and we're going to split the shells down the middle. Try and make sure we don't cut the meat. And then we're going to slowly break and pull apart the shell. That way the meat on the bottom of the shell or the top of the shell will be easier to detach without tearing the meat. You want to try to make sure that as you're splitting it open, you're able to just pull your meat right on out of the shell so it comes out whole and it looks a little like that. Once you've got both of your lobster tails pulled out, you just want to go ahead and split them down the middle and then just dice them up so that they will be nice sized chunks when they're inside of your croquettes. Once we're done, we'll go ahead and bowl that up and set that to the side. Our next ingredient is going to be the crab meat. I use blue crab and we'll end up using about a cup of crab meat. So we'll go ahead and bowl that up. And the next thing you're going to do is we're going to use our salmon. Now the salmon's going to come in a can and it is going to come with bones in it. So you'll want to take your time and go through the salmon carefully, removing all the bones. It may take a little bit, but you'll definitely want to make sure you get all those bones out of there. And once you're done mincing it up with your fingers and getting all the bones out, it should come out looking about like this. So next we're going to cut up some green onions. I love green onions, especially in my croquettes. So we're just going to small dice these green onions up. Once we're done, we want to go ahead and bowl those up and get them ready to add to our mixture here shortly. So now that we got everything ready, we will go ahead and get our mixture started. We'll start with 1 cup of crab meat. Then we'll go ahead and add our lobster. A cup of salmon. We'll go with a cup of green onions. Now I love onions, so I use a cup, but you are welcome to use as much onion as you like. Next we'll go with 2 eggs, a half a cup of breadcrumbs, a tablespoon of Cajun seasoning, a tablespoon of onion powder and garlic powder, and a tablespoon of mayonnaise. And once you've got all your ingredients in a bowl, you'll want to go ahead and stir that all up. So once you get all your ingredients all mixed up in your bowl, you'll want to go ahead and start patting up your ingredients. You just want to get a little small handful at a time and just form them into small patties
so that you can get as many croquettes out of your mixture as possible. Look a little like that. Once you get them all patted up, you want to go ahead and get your pan going with about a half a cup of olive oil. You want to make sure that your skillet's on a medium heat. If you have an electric stove, it'll be the 5 or medium. If you got a gas, then just medium flame. And you want to go ahead and get your croquettes in there so they can start cooking. They'll usually take about 3 to 5 minutes per side. And as they start to cook, once you flip them over, they should be a nice golden brown. Once they become brown like that on both sides, then it's time to take them out of the pan and plate them up. Now, for those of you that may not like a lot of fried food, I went ahead and baked one of the croquettes. I preheated my oven to 400 degrees and put it in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes. It came out a golden brown and it looked like this. This is the finished product. And the baked croquette is just as good as the fried, so there is another option if you don't like the fried. Next, we're going to make a lemon lime aioli for your croquette. So you're going to start with a half a cup of mayonnaise, 3 teaspoons of sriracha, 4 teaspoons of lemon juice. You're going to have a half of a lime squeezed. You're going to do a pinch of salt. And you're going to do a pinch of black pepper. And you're going to whisk all that together. And when it's done, you're going to get a nice sauce that is going to pair well with your croquettes. And when it's all done, it'll look like this. And now it's time to plate up.
Alright, let's try it out. Take a little bit of sauce. Oh yeah, that was good. Well, that's all for this episode. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button, the like button, and share this recipe with all your friends and anybody else that you know. I hope that you tune in next week for another episode of Cooking with Bryan Dixon. Stay blessed, and I'll see you next time.